On reincarnation. From the time that the Ba'al Shem Tov was 18 until he was 36, he was taught secretly in a mountain cave by Akiya the Shilonite. But on that fateful 36th birthday, Akiya the Shilonite said to him, "It is time for you to leave me and to declare yourself in the world. I have taught you all that you need to know." The Ba'al Shem Tov responded that he had no desire to teach. Thereupon his master said, "Let me tell you a story. There was once a shoemaker in Sfat who was simple, knowing only how to daven. But once, during his bar mitzvah, he gave God, blessed be his name, so much joy, he hasn't had as much since. So the Academy on High sent Prophet Elijah down to reward the shoemaker and to ask just what it was he did to give God so much joy. So one night, while he was performing the midnight prayer, he heard a knock at the door. Opening it revealed none other than Prophet Elijah, who said to him, "If you will tell me what you did on the day of your bar mitzvah to make the Blessed One so happy, I will come to you every day and reveal all the hidden teachings of Torah." To that the pious shoemaker replied, "If God did not tell you, I'm certainly not going to." Elijah went back and reported this to the saints of the Academy. They were furious. "Who does he think he is?" Then Elijah said to them, "He didn't give us an answer, but he did give us a very important message. Our service to God is for God, not for all the saints of the Academy." After this, the shoemaker was rewarded, and Elijah came every night to teach him personally until he became a very great soul for a very great purpose in the world. Now, Yisraelikal, Akiya the Shilonite said, "That shoemaker's soul is in you. The last time around, you were a secret saint. You have played that role, and this time around you have to be revealed. For the seeds that you sowed in that life now have to grow out and go beyond you. I have retaught you everything you knew before, and now you must teach it to others." This is what the tradition says about the Ba'al Shem Tov. It also says that this soul was also that of King David. So he believed in transmigra-tion and did a lot of teaching on it. But the Ba'al Shem Tov was also able to recognize particular reincarnate souls, and he would help them with their particular needs. There is a wonderful story about him and fiddler who got pneumonia. A fiddler is traveling with his klezmer band when he gets sick, and the band has to leave him with an innkeeper. The innkeeper feeds him and tries to take good care of him, but the fiddler is dying. And he knows he is going to die, so he says to the innkeeper, "I'm sorry I can't pay you. I haven't got anything to pay you with. However, this fid-dle of mine is worth something, so would you please sell it to settle my bill with you?" The fiddler dies, and the innkeeper leaves the fiddle hanging in his house on the wall and doesn't do anything about it. The innkeeper is also a coachman, and so he has horses. One day, he finds a little horse on the road, and he doesn't know to whom it belongs, so he takes the horse and puts it in his barn and gives it some food to eat. But it is not his horse and it is pretty small, so he doesn't want to use the horse for pulling wagons and such. But one day, one of his horses gets sick and he has to use this little horse. The little horse turns out to be very powerful, it can easily pull the wagon and even heavy loads uphill. Soon the innkeeper has the little horse doing all his work for him. The Ba'al Shem Tov comes to visit the innkeeper and says to him, "I'd like to see your horses, if you don't mind." So the innkeeper takes his guest into the stables and shows him the horses. And the Ba'al Shem Tov says, "Would you do me a favor? I'd like you to sell me this horse," and points to the little horse. The innkeeper replies, "It's not mine, I can't give it to you. Besides, it's the strongest horse that I have. This little horse is working better than any of the other horses I have, I can't see myself giving it to you." "All right," says the Ba'al Shem Tov, "what about this fiddle over here?" And the innkeeper says, "That fiddle used to belong to a musician who died here." The Ba'al Shem Tov asks, "Did he owe you something?" "Oh, yes, but you know, I never did anything about that. From whom could I go and collect that? I never tried to sell the fiddle." "Aha," says the Ba'al Shem Tov. "Would you give me a statement to say that the debt of that musician is paid for?" And the innkeeper says, "Sure. I'd be glad to. I'm never going to collect it anyway. I'd rather give you that than the little horse." And he writes a note to say that the musician's debt is cancelled. And the Ba'al Shem Tov stays in his house overnight, and the little horse dies that very night. The next morning, the innkeeper says to the Ba'al Shem Tov, "What was that all about?" And the great man replies, "The musician owed you this money, and he couldn't find any peace in the other world. So he came back as this little horse and was working for you in order to make up that debt. But once you canceled the debt, he didn't have to stay here anymore and could go on with his other life. He was released.